Hello, welcome or welcome back to my cooking channel, Cooking with Frenchie. I'm David. I hope you had a nice week, and today we're celebrating a special day, Bastille Day, a day for the French to celebrate a revolution to fight for freedom, liberty, and equality. But I'm not here to talk about it. I'm here to talk about the recipe of the day. We are going to do today a lobster stock. Why a lobster stock? A stock of broth made from bone, stocks, vegetables or shells generally. It really depends how you want to take it and where you're coming from. But it's an extraction of flavor. What we try to do is to extract all the flavor from the bones or the shell to give your liquid a beautiful flavor, a bit like a tea bag infusion. So I'm going to show you how to do the best lobster stock. You could replace the lobster shell by prawn shell, it's not a problem. This is going to be a basic stock just to create the best sauce, the best soup. So I'm thinking in terms of sauce, American sauce. I'm thinking you can do your chowder as a soup with it. You can also do the bisque, the lobster bisque, of course. So I'm going to show you how I make my stock with a little bit of a twist. I'm using orange and Cointreau with it. So before we go further, make sure you subscribe. Don't forget about this. Change your notification bell setting. And as usual, give me a like. Put a comment under the description if you like the recipe. Share it to everyone. It really helps me a lot. So thank you very much for watching. And also today, but I will give you that this Friday coming up, another recipe about the palmiers. Why you got two recipes? Because I've been a little bit slack on terms of sending you videos, but also it's an anniversary today. It's the first year of Cooking with Frenchie. So don't forget to check cookingwithfrenchie.com, and happy anniversary to me and this channel and to you guys for following up. So thank you very much. Really appreciate you following. Have a nice day and talk to you later. Let's get that lobster stock going. But I must say, first of all, I have a nice WA rock lobster, and what I did is I keep the flesh aside for my lobster risotto that I've done after that stock. So the thing is, keep the flesh aside and make sure you just clean and wash your shell properly. Get rid of all the sand and the dirt from the lobster. Then gather all the ingredients: onions, orange, garlic, tomato, carrots, bay leaves, a little bit of parsley stalks, the Cointreau of course, and one ingredient you don't see here, it's the tomato paste. So what I do first is to peel all my veggies. So the onions, I will peel the carrots, I will also core the tomato, and I'll get just the stalks of the parsley for my stock. Always be safe. So lobster stock is just a beautiful base and you can keep in a freezer for up to 6 months. I use it for my bisque, I use it for base of a sauce, as for later on my risotto, but I give it a twist with my chowder sauce. I can do also seafood marinara with it. It's a beautiful base for it. So I have been a sauce chef for about 2 years on cruise ship. I was a head sauce chef for Celebrity Cruise Liner, and as you know, French love their sauce, and if you have a good sauce chef in your kitchen, you're pretty sure to have a good public and a good clients who comes back for the sauce. Sauce is essential to a beautiful dish. So keep the head of the parsley for another recipe, or put some green in your risotto later. We're just gonna use the stove. Crush your garlic, don't need much more than that, just using the blade of your knife. Give a good little smash. Chop your carrots in 2 at first and 4, and then cut them about 1 centimeter square or 2 centimeters square, not too big, not too small either. We don't want them to go in puree whilst cooking. I'll chop the onions on the same size. This cutting skills or style, it's called a mirepoix. A full mirepoix will have celery, but I decided not to put celery on this stock. You could use celery if you wanted to. You could use a little bit of green of the leek if you wanted to, a bit of thyme as well. Chop your tomato in 6, and same for the orange. Once it's done, pick up a large saucepan. This recipe makes about 6 liters of stock. Heat it up the oil very hot, nice olive oil, and when it's very hot, just dump into it all the shell of your lobster and let it sizzle on a very high heat. So important. That will help the flavor of the lobster to develop within the pan and have all the natural sweetness and protein of the lobster going through the flavor of the pan and your stock. So the French and the English call it a stock, the American call it a broth. So just sizzle like this for about a minute, then give it a bit of a stir. Let it rest for another minute, give it a bit of a stir, let it rest for another minute, and give it another stir. What we want here is to have all our shell turning orange. You know, like when they're blushing, or getting a little bit shy. Once we are done with the coloring of our shell, I will bring on the Cointreau, and we are going to flame off what we call flambé. So really important, you really seal those flavor, and you really give color without burning those shells. So I'm speeding up the process on the video for you. All up, making a stock takes about an hour. So like this, you know you're prepared. We're getting a very nice color here. The shell are blushing. And it's nearly time for the flame. Be ready, be careful, don't burn yourself. Don't burn the stove, don't burn the exhaust fan. Be careful of your eyelashes or eyebrows. They could get messy. Once you've done and the alcohol is totally burnt off, the flavor is still there, give it another stir, and you can add your chopped onion at first. The smell is unbelievable. Just dunk your chopped onions inside, give it a stir and cook it for about 2 minutes, still on high heat, to really give a nice caramelization. We don't want that to burn, but we want the flavor again to be extracted. You can call it sweating the onion. All this cooking process will really release the flavor. Once I'm done with the onion, I'm going to add the crushed garlic. Same again, give it a stir and cook it for about a minute. We really don't want the garlic to burn, and we're still on high heat. Once we're done with that minute, we can add all the other ingredients, meaning the bay leaf, the parsley stalks, the tomatoes, the orange, the carrots, and we are going to give it another quick stir for about a minute or two. The orange is a little twist from an old chef, one of my first chefs I had. Always told me, I try with and I try without, And I must say, he always told me that give it natural sweetness to the stock without being too heavy. That little orange flavor and with the Cointreau goes so well. So it's a little tip. And here I'm going to cover all my share with water. And I'm using cold water. Make sure you put enough water to cover the stock. So I put about 6.5 liters. I'm gonna lose about half a liter through the cooking and simmering process. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, but also to follow me on Cooking with Frenchie on Instagram or even on Facebook. That's one ingredient you didn't say at the beginning, is the tomato paste. So I'm putting a large soup spoon, so it's about 50 grams here of tomato paste. Just mix it quickly. We're still on a high heat at the entire process, so we are going to bring that to the boil. Make sure it's boiling. When you reach boiling point, that's where you reduce the heat. Now that's boiling point. Give it a stir, reduce the heat to the lowest minimum, and we are going to simmer. You see the motion of the boiling, it's reducing and slowing down. And that's something very crucial to any stock or broth you're going to do. It's to actually skim your stock. Skimming means removing the foam, the impurity, or the little protein that brings back to the top, or the excess of fat if you put too much olive oil at the beginning. That's really helps your stock or your broth to become or to remain as clear as possible, to not go too dark or too cloudy. So we see this just slow motion, and I'm going to let that simmer for 29 minutes. However, every 5 minutes during this nearly half an hour, I'm going to skim over and over my stock. And I'm not worried if I lose a little bit of liquid. As I said, I'm ready to lose about half a liter easily. You can see on the side of the pan the reduction through the process. That's total infusion of flavor, and it's done. Cooking furthermore won't help anything, won't develop any more flavor. You're just gonna make your stock a little bit more cloudy. So here I'm using a ladle to really reduce the amount of liquid I have to transfer, and using a colander at first, I am going to transfer my stock into a large bowl. When I feel it's safe to do so, I will totally strain the entire liquid from the shelf and my vegetable flavoring. Just like so. Make sure you don't splash yourself or don't burn yourself. Always be safe. Put the entire liquid. If I was going to do more of a bisque or bouillabaisse, I will, or I could, if I had a very powerful hand blender or bar mix as we call them, I would totally smash those shells. When you're done, look at this stock. It's beautiful. Let it cool down. Put it in smaller container. Cool down in the fridge as soon as possible, and you can keep them in the freezer for up to 6 months. Defrost it in the microwave and you're ready to cook. That was for my little recipe after. Nice little risotto. I am not going to share this recipe as yet. Maybe one day. Oh, look at that. This is the best way to flavor your cooking. Make some stock, people. See you next week for another recipe with Cooking with Frenchie. Thank you.